morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this from. Thank you, Dr. T, for inviting me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, why is creativity important? It's just like saying, why is the oxygen that we get in so important? So it's as serious as likening creativity to oxygen. And it's because of the generation we find ourselves. So it's important because it's life and it's light. That's the way I describe it when I'm told to describe why creativity is so important to me. It's light because you see more. It's light because you are able to live your life when you engage creativity. Many people die without engaging their life to the fullest, without using up all that they were made up of in their life because they never took in creativity. And many did not see the opportunities they should see because they are not lighted up by creativity. So it's important for me to say creativity is life and creativity is light. And one of my popular quote is what I created is I said, everything starts with creativity and everything ends without creativity.
Wow, wow. So in essence, do you think people are born to be creative already, or it's an attribute that you develop over the years?
Yeah, well, creativity is inborn, but you can develop it. You can develop it, but it's inborn. It's inward. You were given birth with creativity in you, but you have to develop creativity. That's if you read my book on 7 dimensions of creativity. The first dimension is discovery. You have to discover that you have it. You have it, but you have to discover it. Then the second dimension is to develop it. So that part of developing is what people might find difficult, but it's important. You first discover your creativity, then you develop it. That's the two parts of it. But you were born with. We are all creative, but you have to discover it and you have to develop it.
Wow, wow. So that's very good. Thank you so much for clarifying that. So after someone discover what they're creative, how can they use this creativity to unlock opportunities around them?
Well, how you use creativity to unlock opportunities around you is first to know that you are creative first. So when you know that you are creative and you live in that reality of being creative, then you begin to see opportunities. And most times, those opportunities don't come in form of opportunities; they come in form of hindrances and obstacles. But because you have this creative confidence, you have this creative energy within you, you are able to discern or you discern when you see obstacles and hindrances or difficulties. You're able to see that this is my channel for me to go through and explore creativity. So what I say is when you have a problem, there is a need for creativity to get involved because solution will come from your creative genius. Creativity will help you to first identify the problem, the right problem, before you bring the right solution. Because it is possible for you to identify a problem that's a wrong problem and you will use the right solution to solve the wrong problem. You will not get any result.
Hmm, hmm.
So creativity is not about bringing solution to problem only. It's about helping you to identify the right problem before you bring the right solution and you are able to celebrate your solution eventually. So creativity opens you up, opens your imagination up to see the solution to the problem. According to the World Economic Forum, creativity for the past year still stands as the first one of the first 10 skills needed to succeed in this century. I think 3 years ago, 6 years ago, World Economic Forum puts creativity between the first I think first to 6 or first to 10 as the one of the most important skills you need to succeed in this century. So there are opportunities that won't push to you as opportunities. It's going to be like difficulties. It's going to be like a problem. It can even be like a complaint. So people are going to be complaining about, we don't have this, we don't have that. Nigeria is bad. But that's an opportunity for creativity to be manifested. That's an opportunity for creativity to be engaged. But you will not know if you are not in that line of creativity, that you're exploring your own creativity. It's going to be bad as that you will join them in complaining, you will join them in talking about the problem, but you are not able to provide solution because you are not conscious of what you carry. That's creativity within, and you have not developed it to the extent that you can use it and bring about solution.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, I mean, one of the very important things to really understand is how this is useful in everyday life. So, if somebody goes on the street, they're trying to get things done and they want to be creative, and you mentioned the sense, or to
Yeah,
the acronym for sense and things like that. That's one of the things that I saw that was very interesting. How does this apply in
yeah,
everyday life for somebody
yeah.
who's trying to survive on the street?
All right. Let me say. Let me start with my 7. Okay, it's 8 years old now. When he was 5 years old, there was a day came to me and I gave him an apple drink, and he poured. Okay, we poured it in the car into the car, and he went to the kitchen. That's my son Ezekiel. Went to the kitchen. I went to the bedroom. 30 seconds or 40 seconds later, somebody was shouting my name, "Daddy, Daddy! I am creative! I am creative!" What's the problem? I saw, yeah, it came to me. I said, what's that? What's it? He said, he now showed me the apple drink I gave him. And guess what? Your guess might not be accurate. The guy has gone to the kitchen to slice cucumbers into the apple drink.
Hmm.
And he hung one at the edge like a cocktail. Now, that was a 5-year-old boy. I have 2 questions from that. Number one, who told him he was creative? Number two, how did he think of using cucumbers with apple drink? And what was his expectation? What was the outcome he was really expecting? So if you look at that, you will see that we are born creative and anybody can use creativity. That's where I'm going to. If a 5-year-old boy could think of doing something differently, then everybody on the street should be able to do something differently and come up with the different outcome at the end of the day. So the layman on the street is simple. Creativity is just that ability that comes in, that is in you, to just do something new or do the old one in a new way. Or I have four elements in which I use to define creativity, and I hope I remember the four. One is ability. So some say it's the ability. Two, some say it's the process. Three, some say it's the mindset. Four, some say is the skill. So creativity can be referred to as a skill, an ability, a process, and a mindset. I'm in the school of thought of saying it's a mindset. So there is all propensity that everyone you meet on the street has that ability or the skill or that mindset, and and they use it. The funniest thing, sir, is that we use creativity, but we don't know. We every day we use it. I told somebody, even in cooking, as it looks insignificant, in cooking, there is a quantum of creativity needed to be injected. As funny as it is, even when you are playing, there's a level of creativity you are expressing. Even when you are talking, there's a level of creativity. So we use it. And that's why somebody said creativity is different from every other thing, whatever you use. The more you use creativity, the more you have it. You can never use up creativity. All right, you can't use up creativity. The more you use it, the more you have it. Normally when you drink, I have a drink here. The more you take the drink,
Mhm.
it's going to be reducing. But
Yes.
when you use up creativity, it will be increasing.
Wow,
So the
interesting.
more you use it, the more you have it. And everybody has it. On the streets, the pepper seller has it. The pepper seller might not be able to define it as creativity. It just feels today I'm going to just arrange my pepper in some other fashion. It's creativity. The person and the IT person does something differently at some point, and it's creativity. The person cooking, the restaurant, when you go there, the arrangement. Say, let's change our arrangement. That's creativity. You want to do it differently. So everybody uses it, but many people don't know that this is creativity. So you have it, but you don't know it, and that's why you don't develop it.
Hmm. Wow, interesting, interesting. So creativity is very important. We can agree to that. But then for people who are thinking about their trauma, how they've been held back with certain belief system, that creativity is the last thing on their mind because they're thinking about where the next meal is coming from, hunger and things like that, deprivation. You know that because we're both from Nigeria, and there's so many stories along
Yeah.
that line. How do you trigger such people to just switch off from that line of thought for a second and try to know that creativity and creative intelligence is something that can change the game for them?
Yeah. So creative intelligence is the application of creativity to all that you do to generate optimum results and to be at peak performance. What I'm just saying in simple language is that the ability or a mindset that makes you to want to apply doing things differently, or what we call creativity, is called creative intelligence, and it should be a lifestyle. Now, it's not a course. I have a course on that certification, but it's not a course, it's a lifestyle. You should be living that life. You know why? Every time you are stranded, creativity it can be used, it can be at its peak in the area of engagement. Anytime you don't have funds, creativity should be at its peak of engagement. Anytime you are discouraged, you are disappointed, you are rejected, you are defeated, you have failed, you have made mistakes, all those negativities that could come around in, let's say, in a country like ours, that inflation rate is going, not be 2 digit, but it's even going at a higher rate. Unemployment rate is very high, poverty rate is high, and everything looks difficult. Creativity is most essential at that point, because it helps you create the kind of life you want. That's why it's called creativity. To create what you want. That's creativity. So if you want this kind of life, I remember one day I was broke and I was thinking, how do I make money in November? Only 2 years ago. And there was a flash in my system, in my mind. Oh, that's your course on change management. Why can't you just do a basic course? And those who have not done it before, let's just do a basic certification in change management. And I did that. That month, I got my money in dollars and I was happy again. But if I mean I could make money, but I didn't think of it because I was not engaging creativity at that point. So anytime you don't engage creativity, you are at a disadvantage. Can I say that again?
Hmm.
Anytime you do not engage creativity, you are at a disadvantage. You might think you are making a lot of money. It's a lie. You should make more than that. You might think you are in the height of productivity. It's a lie. You can be more productive. When creative, and you can think you are relevant, but it's a lie. When creativity is not engaged, then your relevance is not going to be at the peak that it should be. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you saw me checking my phone before we came in. I was looking down. It was a message I was getting from one of the leading universities in Saudi Arabia. So they want me to talk tomorrow by 9 a.m. Saudi Arabian time on diabetes, the sickness, and creative intelligence.
Hmm.
How does that? How does that? Diabetes, creative intelligence. How does that? And they said, "Can I do it?" They've not told me before. This is the first time I'm hearing it, and I'll be speaking on it. And they need an abstract in the next 1.5 hours from me. After with this time, so I can't say no. I trust my creativity. I trust my God-given creative ability. that I can come up with something. So in creativity, we can't say no. It's possible. We have to create it. That it has not happened before doesn't mean that it cannot happen. So anywhere you find yourself, any work, I've taken priest creative intelligence, that's Catholic priest, intending Catholic priest. I took the pastors, women, men, even people that they didn't really go to too much school, like in Nigeria. I've taken all kinds of people creative intelligence because you need it. You know, you don't get to a point where you will not need to apply creativity in your life, in your business, in your family, because you need it in your family. You need it with your teenage girls, your teenage boys. You need to use it. You have to engage it as a parent. So there's nowhere you want to turn to. There's nowhere. In this dispensation, you must engage it for productivity, for relevance, for profitability, for competitive advantage, for distinction, for continuity. You will need to engage creativity because you have it. And it is bad for you to have it and not use it, because you are not losing anything for using it. So why don't you use it? So it's just normal. I'm just giving these examples to know that wherever you are, engaging creativity is an advantage for you, and it's in you. You don't need to go and look for it. It's in you. So if I say I'm training people on creative intelligence, I'm not teaching them creativity. I'm teaching them how to use the creativity they already have. So I'm not the owner of the creativity. It's in there. They might be more creative than I am. They might be more creative, but they are not using it. And if you are not using it, you are not getting the best from it.
Wow, excellent. So you are not the creator or the god of creativity. You're just pushing people in the right direction because they have creativity right inside them already. All right. So one of the situations you can apply creativity is what you talked about, job search. And you wrote a book called Stop the Job Search, Search Yourself. Why is that? Why is it important for you to write that book, and what's the major message you're trying to pass across?
Well, that's one of my books that I love so much. I spoke about it I've written it many years ago, but I still spoke about it sometimes last year in Yola, and it was massive. Now, the question is, why do you search? What do you, when I say I'm searching? If I say, Dr. Tolu, we have a search warrant to come to your house, what's your expectation? That means we are looking for something, right? We must be looking for something. Because you can't ask, what are you searching for? Say, nothing. We just we feel like searching. You can't feel like searching. There should be something you are searching for. So if you are, and most likely, if you say you are searching for something, maybe you have misplaced something. Yeah, I'm searching for my phone. The implication is that you have misplaced your phone. So if you say you are searching for a job, it is believed that you misplaced a job. You should not be searching for what you didn't misplace. Because when you see it, you should know it. So yes, I found my phone. I found my phone. You know your phone. So when you find a job that you're searching for, sometimes you don't even know it because you don't even know what you're searching for. So when you ask people, okay, what kind of job are you searching for? Say, any job. It means you don't know how to search and you don't know what you're searching for. So it's the wrong word to be used for job search. Because I'm searching for a job, because number one, you did not misplace a job. Number two, some of us don't even know the jobs we are looking for. So it is simple. The reason is because most of these jobs are within us, not outside of us. What I'm doing today is within me. I read economics, I lectured economics in university. My work is to teach economics. That's what I read in the school, economics. But what I am doing today, I got it from inside. Most of the jobs that has the capacity to change your life are found inside of you. Can I say that again? Most of the jobs that has the capacity to change your fortune, to change your life, are found within you, not outside of you. Not outside. So that is the perception of stop the job search. Search yourself. Wow. So the first thing you do as you're in the college or you're leaving the college is to search yourself, not search for a job. What do I have? Because what you have within is deeper and is more intense than what is outside that you are looking for. So top speakers in the world today, John Maxwell in leadership, Liz Brown and Cranfield and all guys. It was not what they read that they are doing now. It is what they found inside of them that they brought out. I'm sure the first degree of our mentor, John Maxwell, is not on leadership. I'm sure when he went to school, it was not leadership he read. First degree. Maybe he has gone for other courses. But he has found out that there's this thing about leadership from inside, and it brings it out. So every job that has the capacity to change your life forever is found within, not outside. The outside one can put food on your table. It can give you salary. It can give, yes, but it doesn't have that capacity to change everything about you. And that's why even the Bible talks about the gift of a man will make way. The certificate doesn't have the capacity to make way. Certificate does not make way. Going to school doesn't make way. It's the gift of a man. That gift is found from the inside. School can help you to develop it better, but it's from the inside, and you are going to showcase it, and it's going to make the difference. So that's the power of creativity, the ability to find out what is within and bring it out and give it a space, or create a space with it. And like I said, you create a fence and you put a gate fee. You put a gate and you put a gate fee in that your space, and you collect your money. So that's how people do it. So that's why in my course, one of the topics there is creating and claiming your space. You have the ability to create your space. And that's why I say stop the job search. Go and create your space. We might not all be entrepreneurs. True. Some of us will work in the secular, some of us will in the markets, some of us will in the workspace. But the truth is that you must find your space. If you don't find your space, it's a good indication that you should create your space.
Wow. Wow. Excellent. Talking about finding your space and creating your space, in your own situation, you were working in a university for 7 years, and you decided, you searched inward, and you decided you were going to go into something else and do something else. For somebody who is trying to do the same and wondering when it's a good time to make such change, what would you advise the person? In your own case, how did you know it's time for you to leave what you're familiar with and do something that you're really passionate about after searching inward?
Yeah. So it's important that we know that everybody will have his own time. Timing is very important in this creativity space. And you don't need to be in a hurry to create your space. We will all find our space until we see a need to create our space. Let me give an example. Well, sometimes I go to the airport, and in the departure arena, I see that everywhere we have people sitting down. I mean, there's literally no space. But it has happened to me 2 or 3 times. When I get there and I see everywhere filled up, I can't find a space. What comes to my mind is, how can you create a space here? And most of the time, I have to go and meet somebody. Please, can you move a bit here? Can you? And I create a space where originally we didn't have a space there. So that's life too. The people that say that we have unemployment, those are the people that are finding their space, and they couldn't find space. So they just go back home, I'm unemployed. Some people do like that too. They are trying to find space, but so there's no space. Let me create a space. Those are the employed people. Those are the self-employed people. They found a way to create a space where the space was not obvious. That's one way. Then two, if you are in a space and you are working, and your goals are not fully, executed, what you have in your passion is not given expression to, and it gets to a time in your life that you get uncomfortable about that. And at that point, your creativity is at the peak if you check it. So you begin to look at, what else can I do? I love lecturing, and I've not stopped loving lecturing. But I just wanted more than teaching every day, going to class. I wanted to do something different. And the space of the 4 walls of university will not permit me to do beyond what I'm supposed to do. Now, if you meet any of my students while I was lecturing, they will tell you one thing about me. Before I start my class, I spend about 10 minutes of coaching. I mean, pure talk about real life issues, coach. And in fact, one of the students that graduated is a lecturer in one of the institution and is a musician, was sending praises to me some years back. And I was saying, why are you sending praises to me? I was a lecturer. I mean, I was paid and I didn't do anything extraordinary. He said, no, you don't know what you did for me. I said, what did I do? He said, I don't come to your class because of economics. I come to your class because of your coaching. He said, so it was one of the best students we had in accounting. So he said, I come to your class. The problem is not your lecture. If I don't come to your class, I will do very well. And it's true, the guy is brilliant. He said, but your coaching session, I cannot miss it. All right. So I knew it was time to go into this thing fully because I have 3 values in life that is very essential to my being. 1 is transformation. 2 is impact. 3 is influence. I want to influence people's life positively. I want to impact positively, and I want to transform life positively. And I'm globally focused, not university, one particular university. I want to be free to influence people from Saudi Arabia, from Miami University, and all that. So, which propelled my creativity to find expression in what I'm doing today in creative intelligence training. And it can happen for anybody like that. If you get to a point and you are tired of that status quo, you are tired of doing the same thing every day of your life, and you just want something different. You just want, and it's a risk. It's a big risk because, I mean, nobody gave me money. I started from the scratch, and I left from a very so-called lucrative space in Lagos. I went to Jos when nothing was happening lucratively. In fact, when I was going to Jos, people were pitying me because people were leaving Jos for Lagos to go and for greener pasture. So people were living for greener pasture. I don't know the pasture I was going for because it was not making sense. And to me too, it was not making sense. But I knew that this creativity, if they pick me up from anywhere, I will start all over again. I will still come back to my normal and even beyond my state, and that's what happened eventually. So I do well more than people that are still lecturing in the university now. When I go there, I'm able to do some things and they say, wow, you are doing very well. Yes, because creativity can help you to move from point 0 and even escape 1, 2, 3, 4 and get you to point 7. That's what creativity can do for you. It won't allow you to completely jump the process, but it can speed up the process, just as if you didn't go through that process, but you went through the process. And that's what happened eventually.
Excellent. One of the ways you were able to speed up your process is during the pandemic. You mentioned it a little bit, but then for the purpose of people who want such change in their lives, what are the practical steps? What are the practical things that you did during the pandemic that made you to be able to make 1 million naira unexpectedly?
Okay.
Where everybody were giving up. Some people didn't know they were not going to die, and everybody was scared. But then you were able to make such change. How?
Well, that's interesting for me, Dr. T. Now, I was afraid like every other person during that pandemic. I was confused, confused like every other person. I can't come here and say, oh, it was just, no. It was initially a bad time. Like it posture itself. But I'd learned something early, and that experience made me to learn it more. You will know what I'm saying. Now, in life, there we have events, we have response, and we have outcome. Now, the events can be negative or positive. Your response determines what will happen to your outcome. Can I shock you? I went fully online during that COVID period, 2020. I went fully online. I had never used Zoom before for training in my entire life, except in the COVID period. And it was that Zoom I used for my training and made my first million. So it was the COVID that pushed me, because naturally I would never do online training. I don't like it's not what I'm thinking about. I've been used to lecturing, so I'm used to physical. I got to see you physically. But situation was negative. Situation was bad. It was obvious I need to respond. Somebody said, creativity is king when the rules change. It was Dr. Rogers. He said, when the rules change, and when the rules change, creativity is king. Can I say it again? When the rules change, creativity is king. And that's what I used. So I was tired and fed up and confused. But immediately I saw that, okay, the question I asked myself, so what is the next? There are three questions I usually ask myself. And I want to suggest that you ask yourself, everybody listen to me. The first question is, what next? I can't stop asking myself, no matter the height of engagement and productivity and excellence I attain, I will ask myself, what next? Number two is I ask myself, what more? Because there's always more. Your capacity can be expanded to activate more. Your capacity can be expanded to activate more if you believe there's more. So at every point in my life, I believe there's still more to be done. The last one is why not? Why not is challenging the status quo. That yes, you can. Why not? Others have done this. Why can't you make it like that? So those three questions are fundamental to my life in progress. There is always progressing. Now, so during that period, I challenged myself. You don't know about you don't know about it. Then let them teach you. So I mean, you know, Odeyemi or Olawale. I mean, Odeyemi is a master. He taught me. It taught me how to use Zoom. I said, so I'm in the Zoom room now. What do I do next? You can't believe this. 2020, I didn't know how to use Zoom. I'll call them again, please, something happened. What can I do? You say, okay, go to the Zoom now. Okay, are you there? Do this. I learned. You must be willing to learn. That's the first step. You must be willing to learn. He's a John Maxwell member. I'm a John Maxwell member. But I was willing to learn. I didn't say, oh, how can it be? I learned from everybody. Some people say, why can't you do like that? Okay, I'll adjust it. That's how I got to do it better. And that was when I made my first million in 2020. As a university lecturer, there was no way you can make first million. You can't make, how can you make a million in Nigeria as a university lecturer? You must be stealing. That's the only way you can do it. You have to steal. If you know, I mean, my salary then was 125,000. How do you make a million per just in 2-3 months? Because of so, and I made that in over 1 month, 2 months. I've made that already. So I calculated my income for 3 months. It was more than my salary in 2 years as a university lecturer. That was it. So
wow.
but I started with learning. You must be willing to learn. You must be willing to be corrected. Be humble enough. The problem with some of our generation is that they are not humble. They know everything. And you cannot know everything and know something again because you have known everything. Is it that you know everything and not know anything again? Or you know something and keep knowing something. But immediately you know everything, there's no space for something again. You take that, somebody can take that. Oh, that's the truth. So I wanted to know more. That was another drive. Then I opened up my creative genius to what can I do to make this different from what is obtainable. That's how creative intelligence became obviously applicable to what I was doing. I've been talking about creative intelligence since, but it was real that I have to apply it now to generate results. So I began to use up my creativity to improve. There's a relationship between creativity and improvement, which leads you to innovation, because there's a difference between creativity and innovation. Creativity is thinking the idea. Innovation is implementing the idea. So what we see and interface with or interact with is innovation, not creativity. Creativity is in your mind. You are just making it happen. Imagination, that's creativity.
We have some network issues there. I guess it's gonna be back.
I was not the one that invented creative intelligence itself. We have Newsband. Newsband has written on it and done a lot of work on that. But I changed it to a training format. There had not been any training format before, so I changed it to a training format. I got the curriculum sent to Miami University and all those kind of things. And today we have universities coming up to offer it as a course now. I mean, one in Sydney already, but about one in Canada, another one somewhere. They are coming up to have it as a course called maybe BSc Creative Intelligence, something like that. But it's good for me because nobody knew it then. I mean, out of 10 people I talked about creative intelligence, 9 do not know anything about creative intelligence. then. Even up to now, out of 10, 6 don't know anything about creative intelligence, except I talk about it, you know. So that's how we started. You know, if you don't explore, you will not enter new discoveries. You've got to experiment. So I did a lot of experimenting. Some didn't work, some worked. But today we are here. So, and that's why when I talk about my 12 drivers of productivity this year, exploring is there, experimenting is there. You've got to explore. If you are going to move from that level to the next level, you take the risk. You have to experiment. Some will fail, some will not get it, you will not get it done, but you will have learned so many things. So I was willing to learn by failing.
Wow.
I was willing to learn, excuse me. I was willing to learn by failing, I know, and I was willing to speed up whatever I was doing by, you know, I mean, doubling my effort in learning and doubling my effort in making mistakes. So because the more the mistakes I made, the more I learned very fast, and I'm able to project into what I want to achieve in the future, and, you know, give expression to it in the present. So that's what happened.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent. So can you please give us some testimonies from your creative intelligence certification course? What are the certification? What are the testimonies and success stories from people, and so that
Wow,
people can know
wow,
it's something that is really important for
that,
them to.
that's it for me. Yes, we have about 108 coaches in the world presently, creative intelligence coaches in the world, just 108 in the world presently, and from 23 countries of the world, 23 countries of the world, and that was done in 3 years by God's grace. It was done in 3 years, you know, and it's an height attained that well, we might not have so many so many individual close to that for now, but it's an height that when we are enrolling for the when we want people to register for the course, we have testimonies from different people from different parts of the world. I mean, and I mean it. People that come. Somebody said this one day. She said, "Before I came into this class, I gave up on life." She's in her words. She said she gave up on life, but after this class, hope has come alive. Now, this is not a it's not a church crusade. If it's a crusade, you also come and share a testimony. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just a secular program. But there's life, so much life that somebody can say, once I was blind, but now I can see. Testimony in that category. Many people, we have a 73-year-old woman presently in our league. I mean, she did the course when she was 71, and she has started 2 businesses after that at 71. She lives in the US. She lives in the US. Many people have written the books, they've forgotten they were ever right. Many people have got into the real life that God has, you know, planned for them. They've gotten into. Some people have started new businesses. Some people have gotten into new occupation that they never thought they could attempt. But the confidence creative intelligence gives you, it's like you can attempt everything. And that's why I gave you the example of somebody saying, "Can you present tomorrow morning?" And I'm here. I don't even know what they are talking about, but I said yes. So I said yes. I mean, I don't even know what I want to put there. I don't have an idea. And they want abstract in the next few minutes. They want something. I don't know what I want to put, but I will say yes first, because it helps your creative genius to come out. When they say it and you feel, do I know anything about this? Yes. Okay, I'll get it to you. That means your creative genius must come alive. Your creative intelligence must come alive. And that's how to awaken your creative intelligence, because the ability to apply it is key, is highly fundamental for your progress and your improvement in life. And that's what happens. So a lot of people come up with testimony. Like, I mean, if you go to our site, www.glicc.com, you will see testimonies there. People that have done the course and what has happened to them, and how their business has changed, and they are doing so. Many people don't even know they can do anything. But after the course, I mean, there was a lady, she's in the US now. She was in Turkey then. I mean, she never knew, if she was not done with school here. She didn't finish, and she was not confident of herself. But today, I mean, she did so well in Turkey. She was working one of the biggest media TV station in Turkey, and she was just doing very well. She started a women project in Turkey. I mean, powerful things, powerful testimonies that if we bring them, they can only share it better. That's what I've seen so far. And testimonies keep coming every time, every day, because You will always engage creativity when you realize you have it. Why you don't use it, because you don't know you have it. The day you know you have it, you start using it and you start making massive progress. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. One of the things that I feel you're doing very well is collaboration and collaborating with people and doing great work. And one of the things that I find out is the United Nations Innovation and
World
Creativity Day.
Creativity, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what is that about, and what is your involvement in that?
Okay, so when I started out and I was doing my thing, the founder of the World Creativity and Innovation Day or Week, Marcy Segal from Canada, I think she lives in Alberta, Canada, and she reached out to me and wanted me to be among the advisory board members, and she chose about 10 people in the world, and I was the only African she chose at that time, So that's how I started my journey with the World Creativity and Innovation Week. 2017 or so, the United Nations approved it as a day, international day of observance, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Youth Day, and so it became International Day for Creativity and Innovation. So it's called World Creativity and Innovation Day, which is April 21st of every year. So that's how I started. But presently, I coordinate West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa. And I had to choose somebody in South Africa and Morocco for North Africa sometimes back, but I do that now. So we just create an awareness of the role of creativity and innovation in organizations, in individual life, and in the public space, and with the government. So our function or our role now is to create the awareness of why you need to engage creativity to create a better world. That's one of the primary objective or vision of the World Creativity and Innovation Week. It's actually a week that's 15th to 21st of April, but it's consummated by on 21st. That's the day the United Nations approved. So we celebrate, we go to schools. Schools can celebrate it, secondary school, primary school, universities, all over the world. We have over 127 countries celebrating, thousands of organizations. Your organization can celebrate. So celebration is that just let people know something about creativity and innovation. Then you can register your celebration on their website, and your organization, your school, your country will have a global projection from that platform. So it's a free. I mean, you don't pay for it. You just find a way to celebrate creativity and innovation in your space. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4 people. It can be an interview like this, and you just post it on their website that you'll be having an interview on the World Creativity and Innovation Day with Muyiwa Fasakin or somebody else, and they will help you to project it to the world. So you'll be among the organizations in the world celebrating that day, and there might be a day of reckoning that might be useful for you to activate, 1 or 2 things around the world.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. This is gonna be my last question for today. I want you to say something about your experiences across different culture, growing up in Nigeria and interacting with people, and how that has impacted creativity, and also your last words for our guests. Anything you want to say to encourage them or to say about creativity?
Thank you very much. So what I would like to say is this. When I was growing up, I used to talk a lot, and I I got a lot of sometimes spanking. In Nigeria, they beat. I know where you are, sometimes they might not want to beat, but here they beat people. And I talk a lot. And in school, my name is always among the noise makers. All right. I didn't know it was going to be a gift. So my thoughts now is that what about some of the things our children are doing now that we correct them or we frustrate them? Sometimes parents frustrate. So a guy that was very active talking is now very gentle and timid and not saying anything again. I didn't know it was talking that will put food on my table eventually. So if that was taken away from me, maybe I may not have something I'll be doing that will be as prominent as this in the world. So what I'm saying is that growing up for me, I suffered so much because I will always talk. And sometimes I get into a lot of troubles because I cannot see and not say. I cannot see and not say. And I get into troubles. I was sharing with them at home yesterday how I was beaten in secondary school. Seniors beat me. They almost killed. My parents had to go and beg at some point, don't kill this boy. Because I had a way of wanting to do something else, something different. I just want, sometimes I'm in the corridor of a house or the backside and I'm alone and I'm acting alone. I'm alone. So people will look at me, this boy getting mad. I'll be alone. I can be the chief, I'll be the subject, I'll be the mega. I mean, I'll just be doing everything. So sometimes I can just take bottles and everything. I'll be drumming at the back, and I'll be singing like Sonia Day. I'll just be doing different things. So, what is wrong with this boy? What is wrong with this boy? So that was me finding expression. There are a lot of things your children are doing. They are just finding expression. But you because you are parents, you might kill the expression and kill the destiny and kill the future. So you must be very, very careful as parents, to allow, you can channel them correctly. You can just put a balance, but don't kill it. Don't kill it. Because some children know they like to draw. At every point they see something, they want to draw something. Some of them, your walls are white, and you get there and start saying, what is this on the wall? He's drawing something. Now, I know it's bad, but sometimes you must find a way for them to express themselves eventually. And when they do that, you'll be proud of them. We talk about footballers today. Look at the amount of money people like Osimhen and Co. they earn. I mean, it's mouth-watering per day, 51 million naira per day. I mean, if you collect that anywhere, it's crazy. But that's what somebody, maybe if there was no expression, I mean, maybe we won't have Osimhen today. Maybe that 51 million that will have changed his family will not be there today. So my plea, and that's my last word, is a plea, is allow people to express themselves. Don't kill expression. You can channel expression. You can give in a way to expression. You can give a platform to expression, but don't ever kill expression, because creativity is at peak when expression is given a chance. Creativity is at its peak when expression is given a chance. Thank you.
Wow, excellent. Awesome. This is more than I expected in a very short time. Our guest, Coach Muyiwa Fasakin, has been awesome today. I hope you've been able to learn something from our guest today, our viewers, on this episode of Solution Illuminator series podcast. We have come to the end. Help me thank my guest again, Coach Muyiwa Fasakin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate accepting this invitation and sharing your knowledge and experiences. That's very good, and it's life-changing experience talking to you today. Thank you so much.